You'd never think that a troublemaker who flunked almost all of his college exams would even break free from the traditional education system and even social conformity, going from 0 to 10k a month in less than 30 days, and now working with 7, 8, even 9-figure entrepreneurs who are following his advice. But that's exactly what happened to me.
It does take a certain muscle to push past that limiting belief that I'm too young, I'm too inexperienced.
And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ray!
Yeah, guys, come on! Yeah! Fuck yeah! How are we doing? Yeah. All right, guys. I'm so grateful to have been given this opportunity by James, Craig, the 2 Minds family, and having this opportunity to share my message with each and every single one of you guys today. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to take your reality, I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to show you that nothing actually matters, but actually everything matters. All right? Are you guys keen?
Yes!
All right.
Make some noise!
All right. Cool. So today I want to focus on the topic of business and lifestyle symbiosis and what it actually means to build and create a life that you truly desire to live, and how to actually step away from fear towards a life of creation. Because guys, think about it, right? For the first time ever, for 4 billion years of evolution, right? Every single species existed because of survival, right? To reproduce is to survive. Do you guys agree? Right? Every single species till now, right, is all hinged upon survival, right? For the first time ever, we as humans, we are able to create whatever we want to create. Everything that you see right now, the mics, the presentation slides, this amazing backdrop, the chairs, is a creation of someone's thoughts. How fucking amazing is that? Every single thing you see is created by someone's thoughts, whereby your thoughts are actually creative technologies that you're not even harnessing to create the life that you truly desire to live. Right? So for the first time ever, how special is it that a species exists to be able to create whatever we think we want to create? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through essentially what that means. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a perspective as to what everything actually means. Cool. So how many of you guys are making 72 grand a year? I'm curious. All right. How many of you guys are making 72 grand a month? Who wants to make 72 grand a month? In the next 30 days, in the next 60 days, 90 days, 72 grand a month. Are you guys sure?
Yes!
You sure?
Yes!
Yeah? So just to give you some perspective, this is how much I spend on my business per month. All right? This is the difference between what actually can happen when you choose to decide to step into fear, lean into fear, and create a life that you truly desire to live. Because all these numbers doesn't fucking matter. It's about truly creating whatever you want to create at any point in time. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of what I've achieved in 2 years, just to give you guys some perspective shifts. And a lot of the times people always say, why talk about your wins? Why talk about the successes that you've achieved? Right? Why are you so cocky or arrogant or whatever that is? But in my perspective is how amazing it is if you can hang around winners so that your wins do not sound like you're bragging. How many of you guys want an environment like that? Where you get to share your wins. You get to be excited about life. You do not get judged about loving life. Am I right? So here's a quick breakdown, just so you guys know. I've built a 6-figure freelance business within 1 month, leaving my full-time job. I was actually made redundant. My bosses don't really want me in the office because I wasn't, a 9 to 5.
Conforming.
Yeah, I wasn't 9 to 5 material, Scaled a 7-figure digital marketing and sales agency within a year of leaving my full-time job. Grown an in-house and remote team of 32 members across more than 10 different countries. And generated 11.6 mil in trackable sales across 40 plus clients in the past 2 years. Thanks, guys. Let's celebrate. All right. Joint venture partners with two of the world's largest entrepreneur companies, Addicted to Success and Male Mentor. Worked with summits featuring speakers such as Jordan Belfort, The Wolf of Wall Street, Marissa Peer, James Quick, Christine Hassler, Sabri Sudbury, etc. And the list goes on and on. And people always talk about how money is an impact indicator, yeah? I've coached over 350 plus freelancers towards building a multiple six-figure agency business. And one of my most successful case studies is actually a 16-year-old kid who hit his first 5-figure months in 25 days. 16 years old, right? So everything is possible, guys, if you choose to create it, all right? And as James said, I'm actually retired. If I stop working now, I actually have got a 6-figure passive income generating every single month. So I'm actually retired, just that why retire when you can create so much more, all right? What's the fun of retiring and doing nothing if you can create so much more, right? So yeah, so this is what I've achieved in 2 years. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, all right. So it's all good and well, but that's the fancy different stuff, all the different successes I've achieved. But what's real is actually how. Are you guys curious to know how I've achieved this in 2 years?
Yes.
Right, because the how is always so much more important than the what. Am I right? Right? It's all about how do we achieve it, the challenges that we've been through, right? The roadblocks, the failures that I've been through, I've overcome, I've chose to lean in, right? And this is the story behind that. So when I was in my 9-to-5 job, I was working my ass off, right? It was a finance technology startup company, right? Back in Melbourne, I was living in Melbourne for about 3 years, and I was working a 9-to-5, and it was a startup company. So I was given the position of a business manager. So I was given autonomy to create systems, to create processes, support the email marketing, support the marketing side of things. But as we all know, a startup company, you never know, especially in the first year of a tech business, things fluctuate. Like things are uncertain. Finances come in, finances go. So they reach a moment in time about 8 months into the 9-to-5 job. The whole company faced a huge financial setback. And they had to cut people off, right? They had to lay people off. They had to cut their costs in order to survive into the next year. So it was a normal work day, right? I was going to work happy, fuck, I love a fucking startup life. I get to work in a co-working space. This is like, and back then, that's my dream job because I'm not in a corporate job, right? I'm in a startup job, like dream job, shit, this is all that I knew. This is fucking amazing. I went to work, just doing my own stuff. And then at around 12 to 1 p.m., around lunchtime, the co-founders came in. One of the co-founders came in, and he said, Ray, I need to speak with you. I'm like, yeah, cool, what? I thought it was like some serious business meeting or stuff like that. And he dragged me into a separate room outside of the co-working space that we were operating out of. Went in, had a conversation, he sit me down and he told me this, right? Ray, I've got something I need to tell you. And I was like, what is it? Because the energy was just off, right? And it was just a normal work day. I didn't even expect anything. I said, there's something I really need to tell you. As you know, the past couple of weeks, we were facing a couple of financial setbacks, financial issues and stuff like that. And we had to make decisions, as to how we can continue with this company, how can we scale this company. And he came in and said, because of the current situation, your services are no longer required, and we have to lay you off. That's my only source of income. I had no one to fall back on, I was alone. My parents are back in Singapore, so I was alone. And I was like, this is my life, so-called back then. So I was negotiating with him. So if you do not need me in this position, what about the other position? Do you have space for another position? And he was like, nah, unfortunately, no. I was literally in a state of fear and survival. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would resonate with that state of mind, fear, survival, no idea what the fuck is happening. Am I right? Yeah, and it was painful. It was painful. What do I have to do now? I started applying for multiple jobs. I started applying for every single job I can find. Right? Got rejected by every single one of them. Why? International visa. You're not a permanent resident. right? You get rejected by everything, right? Carol, you feel me? Yeah, right? Number 2, not enough work experience. 8 months and you're in a non-corporate job, you're in a startup company, what qualifications do you have? So I was rejected by every single one of them. And somehow I came across a business coach on Instagram, right? And he's now my good friend, and I've overtaken him, of course, so it's going to be epic. All right, yeah, but I came across a business coach, and I saw one of his case studies. It was this 19-year-old kid making $25K a month. So I'm like, fuck, if this guy can do it, why can't I? If this guy can do it and he's 19 years of age, me being 24, having worked in a finance technology company before, why can't I do it as well? So I messaged him and said, I really want this. I want this, right? And he hit back and said, to date, he said I was one of the easiest closers ever. Because I was approaching him, I was like, I want this. Sign me up. What's the best program you have? How can I achieve success? I was like, I want everything. But I couldn't afford everything, of course, you know. So in my bank account at that point of time, I had about $5,000, and $4,000 of it was from tax returns. So after the financial year, it happened around September 2019. Right, I had tax returns and everything coming in. I was like, I had $5,000, right, left in my bank account. I was asking, how much does it cost? How much is the program and stuff like that? And all I cared about is like, I'm gonna be like the 19-year-old kid. I'm gonna fucking trash his record. I'm gonna like achieve the best success ever. I don't even know what the cost really is. I'm just like, if this kid can go out, I can fucking do it, you know. So yeah, and apparently the cost was $4,000. $4,000. So I was like, oh shit, $4,000. I'm left with $1,000, and my monthly rent is $840. $160 left. I've got groceries for 4 weeks. I've got electricity bills. I've got visa fees. I've got all this fucking shit that's coming my way. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking make this work. I'm gonna put my ass on fire. I'm gonna make this fucking work. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make this work. And I just gave $4,000 to him. I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm just gonna go all in. I'm just gonna do it. Right, so for 4 weeks, I was operating on $160 in my bank account. And it was dwindling and dwindling and dwindling as the days go by, the weeks go by. I was like, fuck. And that was when my fire really kicked in. I was like, I have to make this work. Because if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Kudos, Dr. Aspen, if you're watching this. Right? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Right? You get to decide what you want for your life. No one else does. And that was when I had the conviction and commitment that I'm going to follow through with this no matter what. And I went 12-hour work days. I just went straight in. If I was not sleeping, I was working. And back then, it was such a hectic environment because I was still living in a shared house with all my university mates. So people were dragging me to parties. They're like, come hang out with us at the bar. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, I've got no fucking money. I can't fucking party. I need to fucking make this work. All right? And I went at it. So long story short, 12-hour work days, focus, full-on focus, because what you focus on, you find. Within the first 30 days, I made my first 5-figure month. And that shifted everything for me. The things that I did not know was possible was now possible. My entire reality of what the online space could look like and what business could look like just completely shifted. I started recognizing, hey, maybe the system that we were a part of was fucked. Because if it wasn't, why was I struggling for so long in the past and then discovered this and like, oh shit, 10K a month in like 30 days, shit. Perhaps there's something there to be explored. And that was when I went all in. And the funny thing is the fact that my MacBook that I currently have, right? I remember when you leave a company, you have to return the MacBook and you need to buy a new MacBook, right? I put it on a payment plan because I just couldn't afford it, right? I put it on a 24-month payment plan. So last month, on the last day of August this year, I paid it off. My MacBook is now mine. This year, 24 months done. Amazing. I was like, oh shit. That ended off an entire chapter of my life. It's done. I'm going to the future. I'm never looking back. Because the lessons I've learned have propelled me here. Why do I keep dwelling in the past? Am I right? Right. So this is just a brief behind my first month. Now imagine, that's just my first month. All right? Sheridan. So, the reason why I've achieved all of this success and all of this like income and all of these goals and stuff like that, it all comes out to this one framework that I've identified that's helped me propel my career throughout the years of my journey. Actually, 2 years. It's not years of my journey. It's like 2 years of my journey. Right? That's propelled me through that. And it's still propelling me forward now through this specific framework. All right? It is how I've achieved 10K a month in 30 days, 100 grand a month in 12 months. Right? And this is the framework that I'm currently using because at the end of the day, if you truly want to live an epic life, this is the framework you gotta use. Am I right?
It's the framework, right?
It's epic. That's what it is. All right? So, I'm curious. How many of you guys feel as though this framework will really help you propel yourself forward in life? Are you guys sure? All right, cool. So, what has this framework allowed me to achieve? So, I've worked with Joe Brown. So, this framework has allowed me to work with clients such as Joe Brown, achieving a 135 grand product launch in 4 weeks for him, right? Speaking alongside him, working with him, right, in order to propel myself forward and sign high-level clients that I really want to work with as well, all right? I've worked with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, managed to sell almost 50% of all Diamond Lunch tickets at AUD 2497 via the DMs and PMs through a specific sales process that I'm pretty sure James is right now sharing with you guys as well, how to sell high ticket specifically. So we've been doing that on our sales agency as well. So this framework, go back. So this framework has allowed me to work with epic clients across the world. Clients like Joe, who is now my joint venture partner, Nicole Gibson, Dr. Aspen, Australian Ninja Warrior semi-finalist, joint venture partners with Jason Stone, founder of Meal Mentor, working with Dorian Yates, 6 times Mr. Olympia winner, 5th highest number of wins in history, working with Chelsea Hardin, Miss Hawaii USA champion and Miss USA runner-up, as well as 10 more amazing coaches and speakers like James. Yeah, right? So this framework has allowed me to propel myself forward and work with amazing, amazing people in my field. And my clients are my mentors as well. So I'm curious. Are you guys ready to find out what EPIC stands for?
Yes.
So that you yourself can also use the similar framework to achieve immense success in your life. Success that is defined by you and you only. All right? Cool. So E, environment. This is nature itself. Whatever you guys think, we are byproducts of our environment. The energies that we absorb, the things that we connect with, we are products of our environment. If you hang around with people who are making 10K a month, you will only make 10K a month because you do not have a different model of the world as to what that looks like specifically, right? So changing your environment is very, very important, right? Because what happens when you start changing your environment? You start putting yourself away from what you're used to towards a place where it breeds discomfort. It breeds the ability to adapt. Because to adapt is to grow. To adapt is to evolve. If you're always in a comfortable environment, you'll never evolve. You'll just like drift, like the system, drift. Controlled environment, that's a system. Controlled environment will be controlled abilities within the existing environment. Because we'll never be able to see out of the environment as to what is possible as well. You guys agree? Yes. All right? So that's E, environment. So after environment, what happens? Once you're in a new environment, I want you guys to see who you should connect with to start exploring different realities and different models of the world. What does that look like? What does his reality look like? Are there any elements in his reality that I can learn from, that I can connect with, that I can now leverage and integrate into my model of the world to start creating different changes in what I think life could be? Because as I've said, we are all experiencing different realities. I can learn something from you, Michelle. I can learn something from you, Charlie. I can learn something from Craig. I can learn something from everyone here because you guys are experiencing life differently. And only when we start understanding that actually multiple realities exist, can we start opening up our existing model of the world to explore different perspectives. Or else we'll always be trapped. This is our 4 boxes. Make sense?
Yes.
Right? So we always ask the question of, what do we need to do? How do we do this? But actually, it's who can show us how? Who can show us what? Right? Because the world is created by people. The world is created by people. Right? Every single thing that you see is created by people. People have the answers. So what happens when you start connecting with the right people? You need to be open towards receiving information and skills. Information and skills that will propel you towards the next version of yourself. Information and skills that will propel you towards the next stage of your business. Information and skills that will propel you towards the next stage of your self-development. What information and what skills do you need to acquire? Or can you learn from them to build upon what you already have? It's so important, guys. Skills pay the bills. All right? Skills pay the bills. When you do not have skills, what can you monetize? What can you leverage? And skills can come from many different shapes or forms. Right? It can be movement, for example, for Zen. Right? It could be e-commerce for Max. Right? Different skills are out there. It's about you discovering the people that you want to connect with and what skills do they have that align, that you can integrate into your existing model of the world to start taking the first step forward. Make sense? All right? Information and skills. What happens after information and skills? We've been talking about it for almost the entire boot camp. Consistency. If you're not consistent, nothing you do will ever matter because it takes 90 fucking days to build a habit. Think about it. 90 days to build a habit. How many of us give up after 2 weeks? Right? How many of you give up after 1 day? I don't like this shit. Fuck it. Right? But then you know that this is what you want. So why are you giving up? Not on the skills, not on the routine, but giving up on yourself. You decided that. Why are you giving up on yourself? That's the ultimate betrayer. Right? So get consistency with your daily actions. Get consistency with your routines, your habits. I want you guys to consider this question. What is one action, routine, or habit you can do for 90 days straight? Doesn't matter if it's weekends or weekdays, every single day without fail, that you know you need to do. Just one thing. Just one thing. Can be something small. Whatever it is for you, whether it's a routine, a habit, or an action. Make sense? Any questions so far? All good? Cool, perfect. Let's continue. Next. So, I love this quote by Robin Sharma. Exceptionalists began as ordinary people, and through relentless practice and constant drilling to wire in excellent daily habits, their power to manage themselves against their cravings and temptations grew stronger until the culture perceived them as superhumans. Why? Because small, daily, seemingly insignificant actions, if done consistently over time, actually yield staggering results because you're stacking and you're stacking and you're stacking and you're stacking. You just don't see it. But the version of yourself in 90 days is going to be so different from the version of yourself now. Only when you choose to do it. Right? And I want you guys to write this down. All right? Legendary performers practice being spectacular for so long that they no longer remember how to behave in non-spectacular ways. Legendary performers practice being spectacular for so long that they no longer remember how to behave in non-spectacular ways. How many of you guys want to be legendary performers? in all areas of our life. Don't we all? Right? Because that's how we really create the life that we truly desire to live, don't we? Right? So, the secret behind that, sustainability and consistency in whatever we do. The ability to keep creating our dream life consistently every single day without fail. I use this concept called, I know you talk about planetary symbiosis. We first talk about business and lifestyle symbiosis. How do you guys integrate your business and your life into one so that no matter what you're doing, you're fulfilled no matter what. Whether it's in your business, whether it's in your life, they are one and the same because your business is simply a manifestation of a part of yourself. Right? A business is a manifestation of what you want to fucking create. Right? So integrate that into yourself and stop seeing it as separate to yourself. All right? Cool. So, just to give you guys a brief idea as to why this is important, I'm going to tell you guys a bit of my story after the first month in business. The struggles, the challenges, the roadblocks that I've been through to get to where I am today. Because it's not always this happy and fancy and fun and shit, you know. Even myself, I go through all the struggles and shit shows that business actually throw at you. Right? Whatever you guys are feeling right now, I resonate so much with that because I've been there. I've been through the works. I've experienced the fear. I've experienced the lack. I've experienced the no money, right? So this is how rapid my growth has been. And this is why I always ask people the question, how many lives have you actually lived? Because the difference between someone who achieves success at a certain age and someone who has achieved success when they are 50 or 60, success defined by themselves, eh? The difference between that is the number of mistakes and failures I've chosen to step into without fear. Because the time, whenever you procrastinate, whenever you hesitate, even for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, is time. You're taking up time. Right? Think about it, right? Let's say our average lifespan is 100 years of age. Right? We live for up to 100. Right? I'm pretty sure we can live up to 150. I myself think I'll live until 250, so right, with technology and everything. So yeah, and Asian genes, yeah.
It's actually
got it. All right, yeah. So imagine we live to 100, right? 100 years of age. 1/3 of our lives is spent doing what? Sleeping? Right? So we're left with what? 66? 66 years of our life, right? 1/3 is left sleeping, you know, right? For the first 25 years of our life, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Partying, girls, right? All the different shit, right? We're just like going through life, right? Without really knowing what our purpose is. Right? So 66 minus 25 is what? 41? Right? If I calculate wrongly, let me know because I'm not really good at math. Right? So 41, right? 41 years of age left, right? Let's say you spend half of that lifespan like doing random shit, like hanging out with friends, right? Cooking, eating, showering, brushing your teeth, all the different little things, right? You take out another 50% or 1/3 of your life, right? That's 41 minus 33. You're left with how many years? 7? 7 years to actually create what you want to create. If you think about it, 1/3 of your life is spent eating, drinking, having fun. 1/3 of your life is spent sleeping. 25 years of your life, you know what the fuck you want to do? 7 fucking years. And here we are, should I start this business? What if I fail? Where is that fear coming from? I need to be aligned. How much time are you spending listening to your limitations instead of focusing on creation when you have only got 7 fucking years to create? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. December was such an epic month because I was in 4 months of entrepreneurship, right? I was actually invited by an 8-figure e-com entrepreneur in the Philippines who flew me over to the Philippines to train his sales team He flew me over to the Philippines. I actually closed him to fly me over, so that's a whole other story. I was negotiating. I was like, you gotta fly me, man. Yeah. So he flew me over to train the sales team. And what ended up happening there was it opened my mind, another level of my perspective, that there's so much bigger things outside of just Australia. We're all boxed in, yeah? Gold Coast is the best place to be. Gold Coast is the best people, best communities. And then I look outwards. I'm like, fuck, 7 figures in the US is like just shit money. Like literally. And we're here like looking at like 7 figures, like, oh shit, 7 figures, oh my God. I was like, changed my entire perspective as to what it is.
Jeff would say, 7 figures? I'm sorry, what happened? Best friends in Silicon Valley. Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay? Like, literally, that's a perspective shift. $1 million? Are you okay? That's a perspective shift. So I started seeing different things. I started seeing different perspectives. I started seeing the potential that exists in the Philippines as well. And you guys will start seeing how I built actually an in-house remote team in the Philippines. Almost 60 to 70% of my in-house team members are from the Philippines. And how dedicated and hardworking and committed they are in their craft. I've given the same opportunities to Australians and Americans, yeah? Like, the level of commitment is just not there, right? And I fucking love Australians, right? So, February 2020, 44 grand. March, 50 grand. April. Wait. Burnt out. Because what ended up happening was this, right? Yes, COVID actually amplified my business because everyone wanted to shift online, and I was an online marketing agency, so kind of like COVID was actually, woo, yeah, I'm here. But what ended up happening was because every single business negotiations I go into, every single business relationships, every single environment that I was in, I was always dealing with people in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s who are successful in business, who are making bank, 10 mil a year, 20 mil a year, 2 mil a year. I was just getting exposure from every single one of them. And I was like, whoa, shit, I want that. I want to have that. I want to become a 7-figure entrepreneur. I want to feel good about it. My ego started kicking in. And I started focusing on the numbers. All I wanted to do was, I want to make the extra 10 grand. The next 10 grand. How can I make the next 15 grand? Shit, not enough money today. I need to make it. I was like just banging up sales calls after sales calls. I was dragging myself out of bed at 5:30 a.m. I was like, fuck. And I was sleeping at like 3. So I was like dragging myself out. Oh, next sales call, fuck. Like, what can I do next? Shit, I need to get extra money in my bank account. That's all I was focusing on because I wanted to have that status, right? I want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur. That was all I cared about. I started comparing myself to others. I want to have that. I started burning out. And social media doesn't help, right? Social media doesn't help. Because you start seeing all these fancy little things, but you do not see the behind the scenes stuff that people are doing, right? And it doesn't help at all. And I was just dragging myself out of bed because I was neglecting all other areas of my life. Every single area doesn't fucking matter. I want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur. Business. I don't give a shit about my health, about my relationships, about fun. I just want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur. So what ended up happening was, there was one moment where I literally couldn't drag myself out of bed any longer. I was like, oh, fuck. Why am I even doing this in the first place? I'm making so much money, but I'm not happy. I feel like shit. And I started realizing that I've just trapped myself in the second rat race. I got out of the initial 9-to-5 rat race. I just found myself in another one. Oh shit. Because that is actually the prison of expectations we're all trapped in. The prison of expectations we're all trapped in. That is the actual system we're in. The prison of expectations. Notice the guilt you guys feel. Notice the fear you guys feel. Because your expectations of yourself is based upon the attachment of your self-worth to others, is what we've seen yesterday when we were playing with the self-worth game, right? We're attaching our self-worth. I was attaching my self-worth to that 7-figure thing. That's who I am. That's what I want to be. That is the prison of expectations we're all subscribed to. Perhaps it's time to break free. What do you actually want? That's when I realized, fuck, maybe it's time to look inwards, right? Instead of externally, maybe it's time to look inwards. Instead of chasing, maybe it's time to look inwards. And I let go of a lot of pieces of my business, let go of clients that I know I can't serve from a place of abundance, let go of team members that I know I cannot support any longer because of the headspace I was in. And that took another toll on me. Can you imagine that? Like, you've got team members to serve, clients to serve, and you have to let them know that I can't do this anymore. The conversations that need to be had. The team members that were relying on this as a source of income. But I just couldn't do it anymore. And I just let go of most of things. And in April, it drops from 50 to 15. And this is what I had to do. I went back within. Recalibration. I went back within. I spent 4 weeks with myself, figuring out, what do I actually want to create? What do I actually want in life? What does life actually mean to me? And this is a question I want each and every single one of you guys to seriously consider. What do you actually want? Fuck societal expectations, fuck everything else, fuck what people are saying. What do you actually want? What do you actually want? So I started getting clear I started building out my vision, right? The vision for myself. I started looking within and identifying the values that hold true to me. What are my core values? What actually resonates with me? Right? I started building that out for myself. I started doing, this is when I really understood what self-development really is. I used to think it was all like, ooh, it's like, ooh, self-development, I'm fucking God, why are you self-development? Yeah, but then I realized that, hey, there's actually stuff there that will propel you forward, because the funny thing is this, right? The biggest self-development you can ever do is actually start a fucking business. Yeah. The journey that you go through, oh my God. Insane. Right? So recalibration. So I started building an ecosystem through my vision and my values. Because I recognize that business is a manifestation of a part of myself. So every single thing that I want to create has to align, has to be integrated into who I am and what I actually want. What do you guys actually want? That's why James, Navdeep, Jackie stresses so much on your vision, your purpose. What do you actually want? And it doesn't have to be big, because in my first 30 days, it was just, I want to make money. That was my fucking purpose. Right, but you have to start from somewhere. What do you actually want? What is your vision? What is your values? I started creating that, right? To achieve global impact, what is my vision? My values, what is my code of honor that I stand by no matter what? My fortitude in who I am and what I want to create, right? So I started creating a vision for the company that is based upon my vision for what I want the world to look like as my true impact indicator. So my business, my company's vision is a manifestation of my personal vision, which is the world's leading agency, the world's leading expert for sustainable business growth through the relationship-driven integration of proven talent and results-focused strategies, enabling clients, the people around me, to achieve a winning team culture, to achieve a winning mentality, and a proven game plan for global impact and influence in the coaching industry. And the coaching industry, believe it or not, is actually the new age education system. Yeah. It is. It is. It is the new age education system. So I started recognizing that, hey, in the past, think about what has transpired, right, across the world in the past decade. The number of mental health cases that has erupted, that has come true. the number of anxiety that's come through in the younger generation. Because the education system is the slowest ever evolving industry in the world. Slowest one ever. In the past, people would laugh at life coaches. You coach me to how I live my life? Fuck, I know how to live my life. Why do I need to be coached on how to live my life? It's my fucking life. But now, because of the amount of anxiety, depression, and mental health that's happening, life coaches and transformational coaches are actually what the world needs. Because they open up perspectives. They allow us to see different models of the world that we did not know existed. And that's why breaking through old programs. Fucking the system! That's what it is. All right? So I had to move out of it. All right? So I started diving into the coaching industry because I know if I can impact thought leaders with communities, the ripple effect that will come through. I impact one, they impact thousands. I impact two, they impact tens of thousands. You focus on the leaders. I started focusing on the leaders. Who are the leaders of the world that I can support and bring forth in their vision and their purpose so that the ripple effect that occurs throughout the world in order to hit critical mass, to truly change what the system looks like into a different society system or a different societal paradigm, will allow us to step away from the fear that's happening around the world right now towards a place of love and creation. All right. Thanks. And these are my code of honor. This, within my business, within my life, is the same thing. My code of honor includes community, confidence, commitment, congruence, communication, and transparency. Because your business is a manifestation of a part of yourself. So your values should be your business values. Why make it different? Your vision should be your business vision should be a part of your vision. Why make it different? It's one and the same. And the sooner you guys realize that, the sooner you guys can achieve business and lifestyle symbiosis because you start seeing things differently. Instead of building a business so that you can fit a lifestyle into it, create a lifestyle that you want to live and build a business around it. Business and lifestyle symbiosis. Freedom. Freedom to create. When I started focusing on myself, when I started understanding what impact do I really want to create in this world, what happens is I actually built a $500,000 a year company in 1 month. Think about it. 45 grand a month increase. That's what? 445 times 12? Anyone do the math? That's a $500,000 a year company. Because I chose to focus on my purpose, on my vision, on my values, on within. What do I want? Not what that prison of expectations have told me what life should be. Because you start recognizing that your reality is yours to create. And it's through you. It's you. Why are you guys on this planet, on this beautiful, beautiful planet? Because you get to create whatever you want to create. And I started setting in place the people that I want to surround myself with, the clients that I want to work with, the business model that I actually want, the life that I actually want. I started building a system around that life. And it just went up. So June, 85 grand. July, 90. August, 7-figure business owner. Come on! 12 months, 100 grand a month, 7-figure a year, and all because I chose to focus on myself. I chose to break free from the prison of expectations that I've been enlisted in. I chose to truly answer that question. What do you actually want? And this is what happens when you actually do the things, do the work, put in the effort. And I was with Jackie on Friday, and I was at the back of the room. I was like, oh, Jackie, 10.8 grand just laying in my bank account. Just to give you guys perspective.
this with intention. Be mindful of the intention you put behind seeing figures like this, guys. This is important. Approach this with an intention.
Yeah.
Approach this with a future pace for you.
This is tangibility.
Remember how we spoke about being the person? What are the people who make the kind of money you want to make do? How do they think?
You can just take a picture of that.
The old intention for most people would be, oh, don't show me that, you're a dick, which is basically another way for saying to the universe, I don't ever want that. Remember what the universe hears. So be mindful of the intention. Notice the old programs. Set your eyes upon things like this with intention now as your people.
That's less than a week. Zoomers.
Give him a good look.
Yeah.
Then send it to me.
You know, Craig, just so you guys know, Craig and I were 100% those people who would have saw something like this a few years ago and been like, oh, you filthy rich prick, fuck off. And we kept wondering why we were so poor.
Same. Is this guy scamming people? Is this guy legit? I mean, you can ask Amy. What happened the other day?
Someone messaged me, because I've been coaching with Ray, someone messaged me being like, is this guy, like, I just want to check if this guy's a scam. Oh, I'm not thinking about what I'm with you. And they're like, just to check if it's real. And I was like, yeah.
Because why? Because people cannot perceive a different model of the world outside of themselves. The prison of expectations. This is what life should be. Fuck the system! And guess what? Money is an impact indicator. Because when you start focusing on yourself, you get wins from your team as well. Bang, 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 close. And they all get commissions. They all get paid. Right? Every single one of them. But that's only because I chose to lean into fear and chose to create a life that I truly desire to live and the ripple effects that occur. Right? I want you guys to zoom out first. Zoom out. Take a look at everything that's happening within your business. Everything that's happening within your business. And start focusing on less is more. So start focusing on what is that business function that's going to be the key needle mover that will produce you the most revenue and profits in the next 90 days. Whether it's acquisition, whether it's delivery, whether it's retention. Acquire clients, deliver for them, retain clients. Make sense? If you guys think about niching down your ecosystem and niching down your business and understanding that there are different industries that you can serve, and now I started recognizing something. As I'm serving transformational coaches and wealth coaches, I recognize such a huge gap in the fitness market. Because the health and fitness space is one of the top 3 industries in the world. And if you guys think about it, health and fitness is actually the first stage of self-development. Health and fitness is the first stage of self-development. It's the first time people think, I want to be a better version of myself. I want to be a better version of myself. It's the first industry. So one of my students from the case study program who ended up becoming one of our team members, he came to me and said, Ray, I've got this passion for health and fitness. I want to start an agency just like yours. And as someone who loves when people actually know what they want, I'm like, cool, let's see how we can make this work for you. And he was working with me. So I decided, hey, let's work something out. Let's see if we can start a franchise agency that just specifically focuses on health and fitness. And we did it. And the transformation he has been through in the past 6 months, we have hit 426 grand a year in the business. That's 35.5 grand a month in the agency franchise in 6 months. So guess what? When you start focusing on the life that you want to create, you get to help other people realize their dreams as well. And you start achieving impact like you've never done before. That's rude. Yeah, we started his business for him. So, I'm blessed, right? Because you truly have the potential of making a positive impact on this world, starting from yourself. But it all depends on what you do with what you have. Because at the end of the day, success is not measured by the amount of money you possess or the position you attain, seven-figure entrepreneur, but rather in how you use both. Position and money can be squandered or abused, but they can also be used to help others. All right? What do you actually want for yourself, for your life? All right. Amy, I'm curious. What impact? I'm curious. What impact have I supported you with in your life? You on the mic? Yeah, come in. Yeah. This is what happens. I love putting my students into discomfort.
Everybody get a round of applause.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Right. As a business owner, sometimes challenges come your way, and you just gotta overcome it.
Thanks. Wait, so what was the question?
Yeah. How have I impacted your life?
Well, from a business standpoint, so I was just doing photography before this, and then I sort of started pushing towards an accidental marketing agency, and I was like, well, Ray does that. He'll know about it. And you've given me like the systems and the tools and all of that side of things, but also a lot of confidence and a lot of, sort of trust in myself and knowing what I'm doing in there as well. But you've given me some really good tools and like sort of taking it back as well to what I'm actually trying to achieve.
Perfect. Love you.
You've really helped me.
Anthony. Yep.
Saw that one coming.
I know you did.
Hold your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You got the snap deep. Thanks, bro. I've seen the man button. Just press the record button.
So yeah. How have I impacted your life?
Doing well. Doing great, sweetie. No. Seriously. I guess the biggest way that I can say that you impacted my life was that you introduced me to these kinds of people. Like you said before, environment, people, it's everything. And it made a massive difference from where I was. People I was surrounded by was not working for me at all. And then I guess, I'll keep it short and sweet, but you introduced me to the right group of people and it completely changed my mindset.
And what was your biggest month?
My biggest month? What, how much I made?
Yeah. With vision.
Wait, tell us where you started off first, actually.
How I started off?
Yeah.
I started off making like $50 an hour on every job, which is barely more than the job I was working in hospitality. I guess my biggest month was about 50K.
And how young are you?
What do you guys guess how young I am? Make it a game.
17.
24.
24.
Okay, 20. So average, you guys got it. Yeah.
20.
20.
Love you, bro.
I'm just impatient. Thanks, dude.
And of course, last but not least, before I wrap up everything, Koa.
Should have saw that coming. Alright, so impact, right? Cool, so I moved to the Gold Coast 3 months ago, mainly because I met Ray for like 2 days. So 55 days later, I ended up packing up, moved to the Gold Coast, and funnily enough, I'm actually going back to my hometown in 2 weeks. for 10 days. Oh, no, for 10 days, yeah, for 10 days. And it's going to be really interesting to see how much I've grown. Because I don't recognize the person that I was, and I don't recognize a lot of my friends, and I don't recognize a lot of the life that I had there. And yeah, this guy's like a fucking older brother to me. What's up,
Yeah. So only when you truly fill your own cup can you truly give from a place of abundance. And I can never stress how much the gratefulness and the blessings that I have, you know. The things that I've created in my life, the 2 years, the 2-year journey that I've been on, and the many more years I'll continue to go on, is because I chose to step away from fear and survival towards a place of love and creation that comes from within. Because at the end of the day, we humans are special in a way whereby we get to create whatever we want to create. We simply have to decide to do it. Because life is just so fucking beautiful. You guys have 2 hands, 2 legs, can see. How fucking amazing is that? Stop letting fear and survival hold you back. Because life truly can be so much more, and I want each and every single one of you guys to experience that to its fullest. I truly do, because I know each and every single one of you guys come from a place of love in whatever you guys are creating, and I want that for you guys. The abundance, the perspective shifts. Are you guys ready? Yes. Are you guys fucking ready? Yes. Are you guys ready? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Fuck yeah! This is ready. 1 year to 1 million. Peace out. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
This was Ray's first official speaking gig.
Yeah, like in front of adults. I did a 15-minute one at the Southport school. Kids are a lot easier to deal with. You just gotta go in and motherfuckers, and they all. Yeah,
and it wasn't that long ago that you realized that it was worth learning how to share your message through a different form, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So finding your voice and learning to stand up for what you believe in, and learning to project your purpose and project your mission is really, really important. And it doesn't always come at the very beginning. And if you do it from the beginning, then you can start to create really epic things from your purpose and from your mission and from your values. So I hope that each and every one of you were able to tie in the weekend so far into what Ray spoke about. It's beautiful to see the tears in the audience. Well done for your first speaking gig.
Yeah.
You made him cry. That's awesome. It's an important metric. And so I hope that for all of you that are coming to implementation, which is pretty much all of you, that you're excited to get a whole bunch more knowledge out of Ray, specifically for what you can integrate into your business.
Yeah.
Right, specifically for what you can integrate. So that's why Ray is going to be in charge of the lead side of things, so that he can show you guys how to shoot your passion through what you're projecting out there, so you can continue to attract the right kind of client that you actually want to attract, right? So then that way you can live happy each day. So that way, hopefully, you don't have to make the same mistakes that Ray made and that we made, and so on and so forth, and your clients don't have to make the same mistakes you made, right? Because yeah, you're right. You know, in very many ways, coaching is the new education system. 100%. Things are changing. Robots can do our jobs now. 100%. So it's up to us to spend more time learning and enjoying life, because robots can do the hard work, and money can work. if you learn how to make money work for you and you let robots do the physical work, wow, imagine what you could create. Then maybe 7 years turns into 14 years
Yeah.
or 21 years. Who knows? Because times are really changing. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you guys. Love you guys.
With you. Oh my God, I was crying my eyes out.